11 Sports and For the Fans welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
Live from Atlanta, Georgia, it's time to get Week 10 of the Simulation Football League's 15th season underway. We are live at the Hive, the home of the Swarm. Flying high behind quarterback Bryant Dynasty, who is lighting up the charts as a rookie, leading the league in passing yards and passing touchdowns, as you get a look at the sold-out crowd here in Atlanta, Georgia this afternoon. Hello and a very warm welcome. I'm Michael Trevillo. Alongside me is Benji Matson. Benji, two teams 4 and 5, 2 of the 9 teams we have at 4 and 5. With just 3 weeks left, it's time to separate the wheat from the chaff.
Absolutely. Good afternoon, Michael. Pleasure to be in the booth with you today. We have got a fantastic game on tap this afternoon. You already said it, 2 4 and 5 teams. Playoffs may be a few weeks away yet, but today it definitely has the atmosphere of playoff football. Atlanta, home from a recent road trip, they went 1-1, are looking forward to playing at the Hive and pushing forward toward the playoffs. Riding high behind the rookie, Bryant Dynasty, who has been tearing up the charts as he speaks. Their opponent on the other side of the field, these pesky Las Vegas Fury, also in at 4 and 5, off of a 3-game home stretch where they played really well. They don't do so hot on the road today. This is going to be a tough test for them. Who is going to step up for the Fury today on the road to answer the challenge that the Swarm are going to lay down? This is going to be a fantastic game, back and forth. I anticipate a lot of fireworks today. Looking forward to this one.
Swarm won the toss, elected to defer. That means kicker Sammy Steele has the ball on the tee. He puts his hand in the air. The whistle blows, and away we go. Week 10 on tap. Max Jackson deep to receive. He takes it from 2 yards in his own end zone out to the 20 and doesn't get further than that. They'll mark him down at the 22-yard line. Here is the dynamic Atlanta Swarm, here is the dynamic Las Vegas Fury offense led by quarterback Tom Rahman. Their running back is Scott Johnson. Their fullback is Doug Britton. A-Star Miramontes, John Blades, LZ Pryor, and Mason Kirby are the wide receivers. Garrison Blue is at tight end. Rahman under center. From the first play from screen from the 22-yard line, back to pass. Pressure in his face, gets hit as he threw, and he completed the pass over the middle. It's going to be a 9-yard pickup out to the 31-yard line. Max Rokotansky made the initial catch.
It'll be interesting to see how the Fury play this game today against Atlanta. A lot of points are going to need to be scored here, but Las Vegas wants to make sure they don't turn the ball over. They hold on to this thing, maintain possession.
Second down and 1 after the 9-yard completion to Rokotansky. Handoff for the first time. Here's Scott Johnson, and he goes backwards 3 yards back to the 28-yard line. An excellent push on the front side by the Atlanta Swarm defense. That time, Cree Higgins got back there to make the stop. Third down and 4. Just 1 minute gone in the ball game. Rahman back to pass, slinks it over the middle. That pass is caught. LZ Pryor picks up the first down. Here is the Atlanta Swarm defense. Chris Porter, Leo Jefferson, Joshua Williams, and Billy Ray Valentine on the defensive line. Aquata Shine, Cree Higgins, and Cole Finnegan, the linebackers. Connor Darien, Blake Hemrick, and Jay Miraculous, the corners. Moose Papineau and Chris Henry are the safeties. High formation, 2 wide out to the right, single left. Plenty in the box for Atlanta, but they only rush 4, and down goes Tom Rahman back at the 31-yard line, loss of 4, and a first sack of the day for Atlanta. There's Leo Jefferson.
Timely play by the big defensive tackle there, Leo Jefferson. Snacks, they call him. He's going to be looking forward to eating some snacks today on the field. I'm sure about it.
4th sack of the season for Jefferson. Now second down and 14. Rahman pump fakes, goes down again. 2 sacks in a row for the Atlanta Swarm defense. As this time it's Billy Ray Valentine, the defensive end, picks up his 7th sack of the year.
BRV leads the team in sacks. Powerful player there on that defensive front for Atlanta. And they might have a big impact on this game today.
Now third in a country mile, 19 yards to go to get to the 25-yard line. 4 wide receivers, Robin alone to the gun. He takes the snap, he fires it down the middle. It's tipped and incomplete. Almost intercepted. It was off the hands of Chris Henry. It'll be a turnover for the Swarm.
First series ended awfully quick here for Vegas. Had an opportunity to extend this drive a bit, see what they could do against the Swarm defense, but they're going to punt the ball here, look to play some defense, and I think we'll talk about this when the Las Vegas Fury come out on defense, but in my mind, this might be the matchup of the game here after this punt, this Las Vegas Fury defense against Bright Dynasty and the Swarm offense.
Excellent leaping play by Jay Miraculous on the last pass to break it up. And now the punter is Bluto Blatarski, stands at his own 10-yard line. That kick is almost blocked, but he gets it away from the 15. Back deep to receive is Kendra Hall. She makes the fair catch. And let's take a look at these quarterbacking numbers. Bryant Dynasty obviously leading the way. He leads the league in passing yards, the first quarterback over 3,000 this season.
He's enjoying a fantastic rookie campaign. Bryant Dynasty is leading in yards and total touchdowns. Atlanta likes to air it out today. Or in general, all season long, they've been airing out. Today's no exception, I'm sure, today for the Swarm.
Receivers bunts to the right. Bryant Dynasty under center. He hands the ball off to BDG Hollywood, and Hollywood loses a yard off the right-hand side. Here is the offense for the Swarm. Bryant Dynasty, the quarterback. BDG Hollywood, the running back. Mitchell O'Brien at fullback. Kendra Hall, Siege Falco, and Boo Chisholm, the wideouts. Jamal Wooding is the tight end. Four wide, 3 split to the left on second down at 11. Dynasty in the gun. Hollywood on his hip. Dynasty takes the snap, throws to the near side left, and it's caught by Boo Chisholm. And he takes that ball up to the 42-yard line. It'll be third down and 4.
Boo Chisholm enjoying a great year, great season for the Swarm from his wide receiver spot. Stands about 6'4". He's a big target for Bryant Dynasty. All of his receivers are on this squad. That always is a big help when you know you're throwing to a large target out there down the field.
Boo Chisholm in his 8th season of the Simulation Football League. Third down and 4 now. They'll swap the 3 receivers over to the right-hand side. Dynasty over the middle. That pass is complete right at the midfield stripe. And for the first time today, that's Jamal Wooding, the tight end. He leads the league in yards per reception at an astounding 19 and a half.
I think it just goes to show you how important tight ends are, Michael. I think you can't escape that fact. Tight ends are an important part of the game plan. We have 2 good tight ends in this game today, and they're going to feature prominently in this aerial attack for both squads.
First and 10 from the 48-yard line. Heavy set in the backfield. It's going to be a swing pass out to BDG Hollywood. This is where they like to use him. And a jump cut gets Hollywood more yards up the field to the 34-yard line. And he picks up a first down. Here is the Las Vegas defense. On the defensive line, Tank Hutt, A.K. Jones, and Rhett Sawyer. Slyn Shady, Eric Davis, and Dave Drury, the linebackers. Merrick Etera, Thomasina Rahman, and Thomas Rahman Jr., the corners. Nicky Colintrelli and Max Jackson are the safeties. And we saw the first swing pass out there to BDG Hollywood. They will run that pass over and over and over again until everybody, including their opposition, is sick of it.
The Hollywood effect, they call it.
First down, Sam, for the 34-yard line. 6:30 to go, first quarter. This time Hollywood up the middle, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage before he is blown up. And that was Rhett Sawyer from the defensive end spot. He leads the league in sacks, and he has a tackle right there.
The Storm have been using Hollywood differently this year. You see on that running play, they didn't quite follow the right blocks on that play. They kind of snuffed out that run.
And again, Hollywood up the middle for nothing. It'll be third down and 10. Nice push by A.K. Jones that time to make the stop.
Storm have had great success in the passing game with BDG Hollywood all season long. And last year, they rode him on the ground to the championship. Very talented, powerful back. I think as the Swarm come down the stretch here, getting BDG involved in the running game, it's going to be important for them.
Third down, 10. It'll be on the arm of Bryant Dynasty. He's alone in the gun. 5 wide receivers to aim at. 4-man front for Vegas. Here they come. Dynasty to the far side. It is incomplete. It'll be 4th down and 10. Led Siege Falco a little bit too far. Would have had to do a lot of work to turn upfield to get the first down anyway. But it is 4th down. Let's see if they're in field goal range here for Sammy Steele.
Sammy Steele was 3 for 3 last week. He's 100% on the year. They have determined they are well within his range.
It'll be a 50-yarder right on the button. Or excuse, a 50-yarder right on the button. It's away from Steele. It's got the distance. It's got the accuracy. A 50-yarder from Sammy Steele puts the Atlanta Swarm on the board. He matches his season long, and the Atlanta Swarm have a 3-0 lead. We'll take a short break and be right back. This is the opening game of Week 10, the Simulation Football League's 15th season on 11 Sports and for the fans. Time in Atlanta, Georgia. The Swarm have a 3-0 lead thanks to an 8-play, 33-yard drive, ending in a 50-yard field goal for Sammy Steele. Here's Max Jackson on the return, runs into his own man, but spins out of a tackle and fumbles the football as he's hit from behind. I think the Fury have recovered it. They have indeed, but a nervy moment there as Merrick Itera bails out Max Jackson, who just got the ball punched out from behind.
Great play there by Itera to hop on that ball. Early game ball right there. We've had several games in the SFL in recent weeks been heavily factored or decided upon by turnovers in the special teams game. So that's a plus play for Las Vegas to retain possession.
Over the middle, that's complete to the tight end Garrison Blue. 192 yards and 2 touchdowns coming into the game for Blue.
The good-looking rookie tight end had 1 reception last week, already equaled his total. I think that he could be a secret weapon in this attack for quarterback Tom Rahman and crew, fading out into the middle, just filling up the holes and being that security blanket for Tom Rahman when needed.
Off the middle, nice run by the rookie Scott Johnson, 2nd-round pick out of Annapolis. And he gets a first down up to the 46-yard line.
And Scott Johnson's been enjoying surgence here at the end of his first season here, this rookie campaign, starting to heat up, running well, had a monster game a few weeks ago, which we'll touch on. They really need him to play well today on the road.
Johnson obviously filling in the shoes of the fantastic Robert Redford, who's now in Vancouver. Here's a pass to the far side, complete. And another first down, this time into Atlanta territory to the 41-yard line. 2nd catch of the drive for Garrison Blue.
Getting the tight end involved early here, always a great idea. Runs a great route, cuts this outside. An easy pickup here for Tom Rahman on the outside. Moves the chains, sustaining a nice drive here after they had to punt early on their first possession of this first quarter. Las Vegas starting to put a drive together. Let's see how far they can take this here into Swarm territory.
4 minutes to go in the first. This is the first foray into Atlanta territory for Las Vegas in this football game. Robin back to pass. Pressure in his face. He gets hit as he threw. He dumped it off short. And it's going to be a gain of 7 as Scott Johnson bailed him out.
On the other side of the field, BDG Hollywood is in the 90s as far as reception out of his linebacker spot. And Scott Johnson, I believe that's his 43rd reception of the year. So he's still very effective back, both running the ball and receiving out of the backfield. Nice dual threat for quarterback Tom Rahman and the Fury.
Three receivers to the left. Plenty of time for Rahman to swing it over the middle. It's caught at the 20-yard line, and down right there is John Blades. His first catch of the ball game puts Las Vegas in the red zone for the first time.
Good play call here by the Fury. We have some routes taking the defenders to the outside. Leaves plenty of room for John Blades, team's #1 receiver, to just cut across the middle there, set up shop, and move the chains with another first down for the Fury.
Ball spotted right at the 20-yard line to the right hash mark. Three receivers to the left this time for the Fury, wearing black helmets, white jerseys, black pants with pink and red trim. Back to pass goes Rahman. He throws to the far side. It's caught on the underneath routes, and a nice wrap-up tackle there at the 14-yard line by Blake Hamrick on Mason Kirby. Will give a second down and 4 at the 14.
Quarterback Tom Rahman makes a fast decision here after the snap. Doesn't waste any time getting this ball out of his hands. As we approach the goal line here, things starting to tighten up in this red zone, so making a fast decision is going to be key here to pushing this ball into the end zone.
Under 2.5 to go. Second down and 4, I formation. Single receiver each side. 7 in the box for Atlanta. They rush 4, and it's a pass over the top of him to the 10-yard line. Down the sideline goes John Blades, and he's bumped out at the 5. So it'll be first down and goal for the Fury.
Back-to-back catches by John Blades there. 4 touchdowns on the season. He's had a touchdown in 3 straight games. They're getting close to the goal line here. Tom Rahman's got his pick of the litter here. Lots of weapons on the goal line. But be looking for John Blades. He's a big target in the end zone, perhaps, for Tom Rahman.
Fury back in the I formation. 2 receivers split out wide to the left. Rahman going to throw. He's got plenty of time. He stands in the pocket. He throws to the end zone, and it's interception on a deflection. And Atlanta ends the drive unceremoniously for the Fury as Moose Papineau has his first interception of the season.
They were targeting John Blades in the back of the end zone. Looked like he might reel that one in, was making a leap for it there in the back, but there was a crowd, a swarm there in that end zone. Atlanta comes away with the interception on the ricochet there. Tough way to end that drive for the Fury, but that was a good drive they put together in their second one of the game.
First and 10 for Atlanta from their own 20. 2:01 to go, first quarter. Dynasty back to pass. He just swings it out to Hollywood. He makes a spin move and makes a man miss, gets 6 yards. That'll help Atlanta's turnover differential. They are dead last at -12, now -11. And for Las Vegas, they're doing very well. They are second in turnover differential, +10. The first place team in turnover differential is Louisiana. They have +17 on the turnover differential this season. Second down and 4 from the 26-yard line. Under a minute and a half to go now, first quarter. Atlanta with a 3-0 lead. Here's Hollywood stretching to the right side. He finds some room, and he's going to burst forward for a first down up to the 35-yard line. And in on the tackle was Max Jackson.
A few runs previously, BDG was perhaps not as patient as he should have been. Here on this run, he let his block set up ahead of him, follows that block to the outside, and picks up some positive yardage on this off tackle to the right. That's a great run for BDG Hollywood. A few runs on the earlier possession. He seemed to be a little bit too apprehensive, wasn't being patient, didn't follow his blocks, didn't have much success with some of his early runs.
With a minute to go in the first, looked like Dynasty's going to air it out. He steps into the pocket, and he goes down again. Rhett Sawyer with another sack, his 16th of the season, extends his lead on top of those rankings, and it's going to be second down and 14.
I think this is one of the keys of the game here today, is this Fury pass rush led by Rhett Sawyer. Can they put pressure on Bryant Dynasty, make him throw the ball when he's uncomfortable, out of rhythm, force a few turnovers, because we know the secondary likes to ball hawk. I think that could be a key here. Can they turn over Bryant Dynasty in the passing game?
Dynasty all the time in the world this time, but he throws it short to Hollywood on a check down, and Hollywood is leveled into the ground after a gain of only 3. As BDG Hollywood leads the league in reception yards by running back. Also, he leads the league in receiving touchdowns by running back with 7.
Yeah, it's been a focal point of the swarm attack all season long, is utilizing Hollywood in this passing attack. He's such a talented back. He can do it all today if they need him to.
We have reached the end of the first quarter. Atlanta 3, Las Vegas nothing. We'll be back after this. This is the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and For the Fans. back in Atlanta. Second quarter on tap. Swarm with the football. Third down at 11 from the 33-yard line. 4 receivers to aim at, and Dynasty goes deep over the middle, and it's caught by Kendra Hall into Vegas territory at the 43-yard line.
Kendra Hall is a rookie added to the Swarm in week 6. Had a fantastic game in her second week with the team and is becoming a very reliable target for Bryant Dynasty, as if he needed another weapon. They've got another one on the outside now with Kendra Hall. She's proving to be a fantastic addition to the Swarm offense.
First and 10 now at the 43-yard line. 2 receivers split out to the right, I formation. 6 in the box for the Fury. Plenty of time for Dynasty to get a pass away. He does, and he squeezes it into a bread box over the middle of the field for Boo Chisholm to go grab. It's a first down throw to the 30-yard line, and Atlanta continues to move the chains.
Bryant Dynasty showed good patience there in the pocket, didn't hustle that throw, waited on it, let the route develop, but kudos to the offensive line there, giving them time, protect him, allow that pass to happen.
Running left is Hollywood. He's going to shake off a tackle and then be dragged down from behind after a gain of 6 up to the 25-yard line. If you're new to the Simulation Football League, you're watching the first controlerless esport where strategy and AI instead of thumbs determines the outcome. Teams submit game plans prior to the simulation, and the results play out live in real time with hundreds of viewers turn players, scouts, and coaches and team owners on the field to create an all-new kind of virtual reality. Visit simulationfl.net for more information. Here's Hollywood again, gets a block, gets to the 10, to the 5, put it on the board, touchdown BDG Hollywood. That's how fast he can hit you.
Back-to-back plays for BDG Hollywood here. Didn't have success on that first attempt. They decided to run that same play again. He breaks it outside, does a fantastic job following his blockers here, setting this up nicely. And when he has an opening, just a crack, he takes advantage. He's gone in the end zone for 6.
We do not mention fullback Mitchell O'Brien enough for the Swarm. He just put Max Jackson on his backside en route to that BDG Hollywood touchdown. That's only BDG's 4th rushing touchdown of the season, and his first rushing touchdown since week 3. But they all count for the same amount of points. On for the extra point is Sammy Steele. He puts it up and through with 9:30 to go in the second quarter. It's Atlanta 10, Las Vegas nothing. This is the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. If you're just joining us, I'm Michael Tomato, your play-by-play commentator. Benji Matson is alongside me. Mark Chisholm and Rochelle Colston are on stats today as we open up week number 10 of the season. Just 3 games to go, including this week. Steele gets the ball away. Jackson deep in his own end zone to receive. Takes the ball 2 yards behind the line. Up to the 15. Spin move to the 20. Got to be careful with those spin moves, Max Jackson. He did have a fumble on his last return. This time safely carries the ball to the ground at the 23-yard line.
Just like that, the Fury are looking at a 10-point deficit here. They're not out of the game by any stretch. That first quarter seemed to go really fast, and just like that, Atlanta jumps out to a 10-point lead. It's going to be important for Las Vegas to put together another drive. They've had 2 great drives. They just haven't finished as they had hoped.
To pass Robin. Fires over the middle. That's caught at the 30-yard line and turning upfield towards the first down marker and stretching it across the line again is Doug Britton, the fullback. He makes his first reception of the game. Only had 1 reception last week as well.
Doug Great Britain. He's a glue guy over there for the Fury. Great, fantastic team player. One of those characters that helps make this team go.
First and 10 for the Fury. Robin steps over a down to Swarm opponent and fires it into the Atlanta bench. So it'll be second down and 10.
Didn't like what he saw downfield. Play didn't develop like they had hoped it would. Threw it out of bounds. Not too bad in this case. Only second and 10. If anything, he didn't throw an interception there at that spot. So I think that was a smart play to make by Tom Rahman.
Second down 10 from the 33. Rahman under center this time. Two behind him, that's Britton and Johnson. One out to the right side. He steps up in the pocket. Plenty of time to throw into double coverage. It's tipped and incomplete. Blake Hamrick got the tip. I'm not sure who almost picked it off, but it'll be 3rd down and 10 for the Fury.
Tom Rahman had all day long in that pocket, was just sitting back, waiting, hoping his receivers could get open on that play, and they didn't. He threw it up there to give him a chance, but it was batted away. Lucky that wasn't intercepted there. It sets up a 3rd and 10. Let's see what they can come up with here and try and keep this drive alive.
4 wide go the Fury. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Rahman alone to the backfield. It's only a 3-man rush. Here comes the 4th late on a blitz. Rahman throws into double coverage, and it's knocked away again. Excellent play by Chris Henry, the safety, to knock that one out of the hands of John Blades, and it's 4th down.
Tom Rahman went straight down the field there into a crowd of Swarm. Good play by the big, strong safety, Chris Henry, the rookie out of Council Hill, Oklahoma. They call him King Henry. Stands about 6'4" back there, so he is a big target at that strong safety spot, able to swat that ball away on that play.
1 interception on the season and a nice knockdown there. Punt away from Otis Boudreaux. And it's picked up at the 30-yard line by Kendra Hall. She gets up to the 35, and we will take a break. Atlanta Swarm 10, Las Vegas Fury nothing. Swarm on the ball next when we come back. This is the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. Back at the Hive in Atlanta, Georgia, the Swarm have a 10-point lead, 10-0, and the football. 8:29 to go second quarter as we play the opening game of the 10th week of the 15th regular season of the Simulation Football League. Bryant Dynasty under center, single back behind him is Hollywood. He gets the carry to the strong side left, shakes off the tackle, and picks up 3 yards on the left-hand side. Day Drury came in there to make the stop.
Atlanta's sitting pretty here at the start of the second quarter. 10-point lead. Bryant Dynasty is, BDG Hollywood's in full BDG Hollywood effect at the moment. They're starting to hand him the ball a bit more, which is interesting. I think we'll talk about this here in just a second about their game plan today.
2 receivers left, but it's going to be a weak side toss to Hollywood, who spins twice and gets out of the first tackle. Hollywood has this uncanny ability to never be brought down by first contact. He always has a spin move or a stutter step, and he gets away, and it's always the second or third man in to bring him down.
Yeah, that's a great point, Michael. We see right there on the replay, he makes the first man miss. That's almost a guarantee he does. It's so important when you're playing against a powerful back like this in the SFL. that you wrap up if you're that first defender, that you break down and you wrap them up and let your teammates come in and put them on the ground.
4 wide on 1st and 10. Dynasty middle into traffic, and he overthrew his receiver, and it'll be 2nd down and 10. Get your player position locked and loaded today through our Discord server and the SFL Modern League. There's more opportunities than ever to be the player you've always wanted to be. Join the Discord community through www.simulationfl.net. The 2nd season of the SFL Modern League starts Friday, October 9th. Contact Deputy Commissioner Andrew Ristelli on Discord for more information. 2nd down and 10, now 5 wide for the Swarm. Alone in the backfield is Dynasty. He takes a low snap, plenty of time, airs it down the field, and it's an incomplete, knocked away excellently at the last second by Thomas Rahman Jr. It will be 3rd down and 10. There are 2 Rahmans in the quarterback position for the Fury, Thomasina Rahman and Thomas Rahman Jr. Here is how they compare with their stats this season.
Yeah, the family that defends together stays together. I think, is that how that works? That's a great family affair here to see the Rahmans involved in defense there in Las Vegas.
3rd down and 10. Aerial attack mode again for the Swarm. Dynasty deep over the middle. It's incomplete, knocked away by Max Jackson. He was looking deep for Siege Falco. It will be 4th down. So on will come punter Chris Smith for the first time today. And the Fury will get the ball back down 10-0.
Great stand here on defense for the Fury. This is exactly what they needed. I had mentioned that Atlanta was sitting pretty early at the start of this drive. I didn't mean that they were sitting pretty to win this game today. I just meant to say that they were in a good spot here early, up 10 in the 2nd quarter. But that drive, putting a stop to that drive by the Fury, is just what the doctor ordered here. Now they're getting a good chance, get the ball back, march down this field and put some points on the board with an offense that we know can move the ball.
Chris Smith gets the punt away. And immediately beset by 2 defenders is Max Jackson. Deep field position for the Fury back at their own 17-yard line. And you mentioned that the offense is hiding in there somewhere for Las Vegas. They average 25 points a game at over 340 yards. Right now, just not really ticking for them against this Atlanta defense. 7:09 to go 2nd quarter. Vegas with the ball at their own 17-yard line, down 10-0. And they will start in a 4 wide set, 3 to the left, single right, 3 down linemen for the Swarm. Thomas Rahman alone in the backfield. He takes a snap. He drops back and throws short over the middle, and that pass is caught for a 5-yard gain to the 21-yard line. Garrison Blue on the reception.
3 quick receptions so far in the game for Garrison Blue from that tight end spot. Took what the defense gave him on that play. That's never a bad thing. Sets up 2nd and 5. See what they can come up with here on this play.
Said I. First time we've seen it from the Fury today. It's going to be a strong side handoff to Scott Johnson. He tries to cut it back upfield, and he's going to lose a yard back to the 20-yard line. Excellent pursuit to the football that time. And that was Chris Henry again who made the stop. He's got his teeth into pretty much everything so far.
Nice, playing well from that strong safety spot. Coming up, supporting that front 7. Made a great tackle on that play. If I'm Las Vegas, though, I think handing the ball off to Scott Johnson is something you still need to come back to, both on this drive and later in this game today.
Now it's 3rd and 6. Rahman, late blitz coming. He gets the pass away to Garrison Blue, and Blue fights for the first down, and he gets it at the 27-yard line. Gutsy play. And Rahman, you didn't see it there, but he got walloped by the late rusher, and it's 1st and 10 for the Fury.
There's the security blanket, Garrison Blue there. Rahman does a great job of getting that ball off. A nice catch by Garrison. Pick that first down, keep chains moving.
Here's a handoff to Johnson. He goes right through the middle like a hot knife through butter and gets a first down up to the 41-yard line. Moose Papineau had to come and put out the fire. And there's the rookie running back showing off some of that trademark speed.
Yeah, we're just a few weeks removed from his biggest game of his career so far. Week 7, 25 carries, 207 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So we obviously see that Las Vegas can run the ball on the ground with Scott Johnson. Doug Britton blocking at that fullback spot. They're lining up here with both backs in the eye again. We'll see if they're going to hand this ball off and try and force their will on the Fury.
This time the eye off set to the left. They're going to go strong side again, and The block didn't materialize, and it's going to be a loss of 3 for Johnson. Quantis Shine, the 10-season veteran, makes the tackle.
Team tackler, Aquantis Shine is there. He just cleans up that mess. Play didn't develop like they had hoped, wasn't executed as well, but that big defensive front for Atlanta had something to say about that play.
Second down and 13 over the middle. That's complete into traffic. Third down and 5 coming up from the 46. A-star Miramontes makes that catch.
And that was a good play to come back with, too, for the Fury. They didn't feel like they had to pick up all the yardage that they had lost on that play. A positive forward momentum down the field. A-star Miramontes running a good route, just cutting in underneath the defenders across the middle, picked up some yardage, sets up third down.
Now a third down and a manageable 5. Rahman just pitches it to the far side. That pass is caught by L.C. Pryor, and Pryor turns upfield and picks up a first down at the Atlanta 45. L.C. Pryor now over 400 yards of receiving on the season.
And EP3 is one of 3 rookies that they throw out here on the offensive side of the ball. 3 weapons for Tom Rahman. A-star Miramontes, L.C. Pryor, and Garrison Blue are 3 rookies that they've kind of thrown out here and are a major part of this aerial attack. And they're going to need them here down 10 to get the Fury back into this game.
And of those 3 rookies, only Garrison Blue went through the minor league. Both Pryor and Miramontes both were free agents that did not play in the minor league. Scott Johnson takes the carry off the right-hand side. He's tackled by Armand at the 43-yard line. Gain of 1, second down and 9. Now we're under 3.5 to go here in the first half. It's flown by as the Atlanta Storm have a 10-point lead. We thank you for spending your Saturday afternoon with us, and hope you spend your rest of your Saturday and pretty much all of Sunday and Monday night with us at the Simulation Football League. We're getting down to the sharp end of things here in Season 15. Here's a pitch out. Johnson, plenty of room to run. He's going to get to the 30 and be stopped officially at the 31-yard line. And that was a play right out of the Atlanta playbook.
It was indeed. They don't run this too often, but it can be effective when they do it. And you see right off the bat, fast decision by Tom Rahman getting the ball out of his hands fast. This was the primary route on this play. They wanted to get Scott out in space. Swing pass to the left side. It was well blocked, executed by the Fury. Sets up or captures another first down for the Fury. So this drive continuing to march down the field, just like that second drive of the game did for them, but unfortunately ended with that turnover in the end zone.
Rahman rolls left, has to throw it away as the pressure was coming up the middle, and it will be second down and 10. Download CrowdPlay, our new partner for 2020, and play the game about the game. Follow the action and answer questions for your chance to win a share of the $1,000 prize pool. Your next chance to win is Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern when the Jacksonville Kings renew their Sunshine State rivalry with the Florida Storm. Visit crowdplay.com for more information. 7 to the box for Atlanta here on 2nd and 10. I formation for the Fury. Rahman just going to pitch it out to the fullback. And Doug Britton doesn't get very far. Gets back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more. 3rd down and 10 for Las Vegas.
8th reception on the season for the fullback. Another rookie. Rookies all over the place for this Fury team. They're very young on the offensive side of the ball, but they have lots of promise. And I think that they're making the right moves here in this game so far today. They just need to sustain this drive, see if they can put some points on the board.
Here comes the blitz. Rahman throws it short underneath, and nowhere near the first down is Garrison Blue. As we have hit the 2-minute warning, it's going to have to be 3 points for the Fury. They'll try that 3-point attempt when we come back. This is the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. Back in Atlanta, Georgia. 4th down and 8 coming up for the Fury from the Atlanta 28-yard line. And on trots kicker Otis Boudreaux, where he will try this 45-yarder. He's a southpaw kicker, kicks with the left foot. Snap is down, hold is good, kick is away, spiraling end over end. It's got the distance, it's got the accuracy as well. A 45-yard field goal by Boudreaux puts the Fury on the board. It's now Atlanta 10, Las Vegas 3.
Did what they needed to do on that drive. Got 3 points out of it. Just a one-score game here, 10-3. I think Las Vegas is right back in this thing. We want to put this defense back out on the field and see if they can hold the Swarm out of the end zone here. 2 minutes to go.
One of the greatest things about the SFL is everybody behind each of these players is a real person with a real story. And Otis Boudreaux has one of the better stories that I've heard in my time covering SFL games.
Otis is one of the more popular players in the SFL, a rookie this year. He was overseas for a long time, U.S. Air Force firefighter for 10 years, got to see all the sights. He was decorated by the Belgian government for saving a man's life. When asked about it, Otis said he performed CPR for 45 minutes, mouth to mouth, and saved a man's life. That's the type of dedication you love to see.
Oh, look out. BDG Hollywood has gone through everybody, and he's going to roll all the way to the house. Put it on the board. Touchdown, Atlanta. BDG Hollywood says, enough with your stories. It's time to get back to football.
Just like that, BDG Hollywood and the Swarm strike again. From deep in their territory, BDG Hollywood is a weapon. We see exactly what it is that he can do at any given moment on the field, from anywhere on the field. Scores again for the Swarm. We're going to put up 2 scores here. He's starting to heat up now as the Swarm march down the stretch here towards the playoffs, and they're going to need to lean on him heavily as the Swarm make this push towards the playoffs.
Well, from no rushing touchdowns since the 3rd game of the season, now he's got 2 in the first half. And Sammy Steele is on for the extra point. It is good. So with 1:42 to go, Atlanta leads 17-3.
Just like that.
Yeah, just like that. I mentioned before with the earlier BDG Hollywood run, you never know when it's going to happen. Any given play that BDG Hollywood touches the ball could go to the house. All it takes is one move, one block, one spin, and he's out of there. Jackson from just inside his goal line. He makes 2 spin moves. He breaks the tackle, and he's off to the races now. He's at the 50. Only one man to beat, and he's gone all the way past him. Max Jackson, 101 yards for the touchdown. It's raining points here in Atlanta as it's now 17-9.
17-9, just like that. How about that response from the Fury? Fantastic special teams play right here. This is well blocked by the special teams team by Fury, and just when they had to have a response. We didn't think it was going to come on the kick return, but any way you can get it, they dialed this one up. They needed those points right away. This is a fantastic play to close out the first half for the Fury.
Max Jackson, he does eat those for breakfast. Many of those returns for touchdowns in his career. Here's Boudreaux on for the extra point. And if you can't get it done with the offense, you got to get it done with the special teams. Very slow hold, but it is up and good. So with 1:27 to go first half, Atlanta leads Las Vegas 17-10. And we have a chance to sit back and catch our breath. But maybe not, because Kendra Hall is a fantastic returner as well. She's back there at her own goal line. Boudreaux kicks it away from the 30. From the goal line, here's Kendra Hall. Up to the 10, 15, 20, left side. And will be down right at the 25-yard line.
Otis was successful in that kick. He was 4 for 5 last week, too. He's very grateful to be a part of the SFL. He likes the community. He enjoys being on the Fury. He's also a teacher, so we salute you, Otis, for the good work you're doing right now, especially during COVID and this pandemic. So congratulations on a successful rookie campaign, Otis.
10 for Atlanta from the 25-yard line. Low snap. To the far side goes Dynasty, and that pass is incomplete, intended for Boo Chisholm.
Yeah, we've seen a fury of points scored here recently. We need a moment to reset here. A minute and change left to go in the second quarter. The Fury or the Swarm still have all 3 timeouts. You know they can score in an instant. So we'll see if they want to attack this with those 3 timeouts, try and get this ball down the field, or if they're content to just play this into the half.
7-point lead for the Swarm, minute 19 to go in the half. And again, down goes the quarterback. Bryant Dynasty's been taking some big shots here in this first half as A.K. Jones gets back there and sacks him. Tank Hutt also back there in the action.
Yeah, great play by Big Smooth there, the defensive tackle. Curious that they didn't call a timeout here as the clock continues to run, but it is 3rd and long for the Swarm.
They're down at 15. Dynasty throwing, caught for the first down to the 39-yard line. That was Siege Falco on the reception. And now they're going to go hurry up. Remember, they still have 3 timeouts, 35 seconds to go. Here comes the blitz. It's picked up. It's intercepted at the 40-yard line and running back to the 50. Now to the Atlanta 40, to the 30, down the sideline, one man to beat. And it's Kendra Hall who knocks Nikki Colantrelli out of bounds at the 14-yard line. And the pendulum swings back in the favor of the Fury.
Nikki Colantrelli leads the Fury with interceptions. He's had a 2-interception game already this season, making an impact here at the end of this first half when they needed him to make a play. As you see the turnover differential there at the top of the screen, the Fury are excellent at turning the ball over on you. They are a ball-hawking secondary. 4 members of their defensive backfield are inside the top 25 this season in interceptions. And this is one of those keys of the game we thought might be important this year. Turning over Bryant Dynasty sets up the offense in the red zone with time to spare.
Oh, look out, because going backwards is Tom Rahman as he is pummeled at the 17-yard line. And another sack. Chris Porter got back there that time. It seems the defensive lines are winning the battle today. As both quarterbacks have taken some heavy hits. Now 2nd down and 14 of the 17. There's 22 seconds left. They didn't call their first time out there, Vegas. But you don't want to be too careless with the clock here. You want to at least have a chance to get 3. Rahman, plenty of time in the pocket. Hit as he throws it. It's intercepted at the goal line. The ball comes back the other way and going down the sideline to the 30, to the 40. Look out. There goes Moose Papano. The Moose is loose, and he's going to score. 100 yards goes the pick 6, and Atlanta soars again.
I cannot believe we just saw that happen. 2nd interception on the day by Moose Papano in the right place at the right time. 2nd interception by the Swarm in the end zone. Saves the touchdown for the Swarm. It takes the ball back to the house. 6 points for the Swarm on defense there to go up 2 scores. What is going on at the end of the first half in this game today?
Just when they thought that the hometown Atlanta Swarm had lost the chance to score before the half, a 100-yard pick 6 for Moose Papano. That's Papano's 2nd interception of the game, his 2nd of the season, first pick 6 of the season. It's now 24-10 Atlanta, and instead of going in down 10, down 7, or maybe even tied, the Fury will go into the locker room down by 14.
My, you could just hear the Swarm locker room, too, on that one. They're all going, Moose. Fantastic play by the free safety in his 2nd year out of Cumberland, Rhode Island.
Jackson, who already has a return touchdown in the last 2 minutes. They tried to spin out of a tackle there, but he gets hit at the 21-yard line. And that will take us to the end of a wild first half. Well, hey, I should say a wild last couple of minutes of the second quarter as the Swarm lead the Fury 24-10. There's a lot to cover here. Benji, take it away.
Yeah, points scored from all over the field today. Maybe not necessarily in the ways we thought they'd be scored today, but nonetheless, the Swarm up 24-10 at halftime, then enjoying the spoils of being back at home after a 2-game road stretch. Both teams at 5, both teams need this game today to keep up the pace in this push for the playoffs. Swarm getting it done on both sides of the ball, as we just saw. Moose Papineau with the 100-yard interception return for a touchdown, puts them up 2 scores here at halftime. They've played some sneaky defense today, the Swarm has, intercepting quarterback Tom Rahman twice in the red zone, twice in the end zone. Las Vegas is able to move the ball today on the Swarm defense. They're right in this thing. They don't need to get down, but it's just these 2 turnovers are the difference on the goal line for the Fury today. And here, as we see on the screen, we know BDG Hollywood is the man in Atlanta. And they haven't had to rely on him too much this year because they've got a big gun in town. Bryant Dynasty, the rookie, having an amazing rookie campaign at quarterback. BDG has been getting it done in other ways this season for them, but as you see here in this first half, how dangerous are the Swarm if BDG can have this type of impact on the ground heading into the playoffs? Can anyone stop the Swarm, the defending champs, heading back into the playoffs with Bryant Dynasty slinging the ball like he is at quarterback and BDG running the ball like he is? Now, the Fury aren't out of this one yet by any stretch of the imagination. They're playing good on offense. They're moving the ball. Their defense is playing well, but the ball's not bouncing their way in this first half. So don't get down, Fury. I'm sure Coach is pepping them up right now at halftime. They'll come out ready to play in the second half. This is a good game, and I still have a feeling this is going to go down to the wire.
Yeah. And if you look at those 2 interceptions, and if you overturn them to touchdowns, actually Vegas has the lead going into the break. They are outpassing Bryant Dynasty and the Swarm, but only 15 yards on the ground for Scott Johnson. And it's something that you mentioned, Benji, that they would have to talk about. Maybe before the game, we mentioned that maybe they'd have to rely on the run game more to try and go toe-to-toe with Hollywood. That's obviously not what they've come out to try and do today. But 14-point deficit. And I do want to say this. If the last 3 minutes of the second half don't tell you everything you need to know about the Simulation Football League, I don't know what will. All right, here we go. Second half on tap. Swarm with a 24-10 lead. I'm Michael Giroux. Benji Matson is alongside me. Mark Chisholm and Michelle Colston are on stats. And Atlanta up 14 will get the football. Kick on the way from Otis Boudreaux. Kendra Hall 2 yards deep in the end zone. Runs it out to the 15, stutter step to the 20, and is down at the 23-yard line.
It's tough for the defense to now come right back on the field as we see the community poll put up the SFL community votes ahead of each game. Who you think is going to be winning that matchup? And we see Atlanta receive the bulk of the votes in for this game today, but don't count the Fury out just yet. We'll see what they can do on defense to start the second half.
Here we go. Swinging the flat to BDG Hollywood, who tries to spin out of a tackle, but Nicky Colintrelli's having none of that. 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, tough for the defense to come back on the field down 2 scores when you've been playing well, yet you're still down 2 scores. The defense, the kick return wasn't your fault. They've been playing well. It's just tough to come off right off the bench at the start of the second half and face this powerful Swarm offense again.
2nd down 5 from the 28. Delayed handoff to Hollywood. He's got a lot to do, and he's just going to go backwards. He loses 4 yards to Day Drury, and Nicky Colintrelli again in the backfield.
Yeah, Rhett Sawyer right at the snap was wrecking that play too. We saw him in the backfield and forced BDG Hollywood to change his path, his direction, and kind of blew up that running play. That was some great defense there by the Fury on that 2nd down.
Now 4 wide on 3rd and 9. Dynasty back to pass. Plenty of time. Airs it out over the middle, and it's almost intercepted. He was looking for the big play. Tight end Jamal Wooding, and Max Jackson knocked it to the turf. And it's going to be a 3-and-out for Atlanta on their opening possession of the second half.
Max Jackson saw that ball with wide eyes coming toward him. He had an interception return for a touchdown last week, and that was flashing right in front of his eyes again. If he could have reeled that one in, he would have been off to the races. But as it is, a still forced to punt. They're going to get the ball right back here at the start of the third quarter. Great stand by the Fury defense.
Now 24-10. They're going to get the ball back here. Punter Chris Smith on for his second time today. And Jackson is wrapped up at the 39-yard line. We will take a break and be right back to the Hive in Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta with a 14-point lead, and Vegas with the ball. When we come back, this is the Simulation Football League at 11 Sports and for the fans. Atlanta, Georgia, we open the Week 10 slate of games here in the Deep South. Atlanta with a 24-10 lead over Vegas. 9:40 to go in the third. Vegas with the ball. Rahman over the middle in a quadruple coverage, and it's hauled in inside swarm territory to the 42-yard line. Mason Kirby now goes over 800 yards receiving this season with that catch.
This was a dangerous pass, but Tom Rahman has maximum confidence in wide receiver Mason Kirby here. He's a big target, 6'5", so you know he's going to body up and create space for himself there. But that was a fantastic throw on a rope from Tom Rahman to Mason Kirby. It shows you the confidence he has in his star wide receiver.
Wide on 1st and 10. Rahman up in the pocket, slant to the middle. That pass is caught, burst down, a gain of exactly 10 to LZ Pryor. And Rahman really has a spoilment of riches with 4 wide receivers and a tight end. You know, sometimes I wonder who he chooses to throw to. You know, how does he decide?
That's a great question. He just hopes they're all open every play.
Yeah, 1st and 10 from the 32. That ball is deflected, and that actually ends up coming off of the back of the intended receiver as Chris King Henry makes another pass knockdown, as that play was intended to go to LZ Pryor again.
Tom Rahman pumps in the pocket here and then throws on this corner route. It's actually, this is great to see, actually. There are a couple plays in the first half we would have liked to have seen him thrown that pattern right there. We saw the receiver developing the pattern deep downfield, getting open at the last moment. So I think it's great to see Tom Rahman taking that shot there. It's only going to set up. It's only going to be there down the road later in this game when they need it.
2nd down 10. They go a little bit more power look here with 2 in the backfield. They'll choose to throw. It's going to be a short drop to the running back Johnson, and Johnson gets 2 up to the 30-yard line. Now 3rd down and 8. And this is where Las Vegas has struggled today.
Yeah, they've been able to sustain a few of their drives, and unfortunately those drives met with those costly turnovers at the end. But this is so important here, 3rd and 8, to have success on this 3rd down and move the chains. They want to push this into the end zone.
Rahman, he's going to throw short. A lot of work to do for the receiver. Not close enough. It's going to be 4th down and 3 as Garrison Blue picks up the catch from the tight end spot. We saw that play once in the first half, and it did work. They did pick up the 1st down, but unfortunately can't get it that time.
Yeah, Good call there, Michael. They did do that in the first half and had success. Same pass play caught by Garrison Blue there. Was able to pick up that first down and stretch that ball past the chain marker. Didn't work out this time. Just didn't have anything downfield that they liked.
A 41-yarder here from Boudreaux. It spirals end over end, and it's good from 41 yards. And Las Vegas closes the gap. Atlanta 24, Vegas 13, 7:34 to go in this third quarter.
Fury would have loved to, of course, seen this drive in 6 points instead of the field goal. As this second half winds on, they're going to need to make every effort possible to make sure that they aren't accepting field goal attempts, that they are pushing this ball into the end zone. But we'll see this defense come back out onto the field and see if they can contain the Swarm for a second drive in a row.
Still no offensive touchdowns for the Fury in this game. Their one touchdown did come from the Max Jackson kickoff return. Kendra Hall brought down at the 24-yard line. Here are the standings as they stand. As we said, 9 teams at 4 and 5. We can't show them all here. Top 11 make the playoffs, and it's probably out of our hands right now to speculate where they'll be in 3 weeks, these teams. But, man, winning here today really makes it easier to get in the playoffs. You do not want to be 4 and 6. Then your back is up against the wall. You're probably going to have to win out and get some lucky results going your way elsewhere in the league. Hollywood on a swing pass gains 2 yards as Thomas Rahman Jr. knocks him to the ground. Second down and 8.
Back to your comment about the standings, 6 of these 4 and 5 teams are battling this weekend. So we're going to start to see some separation between these teams at the bottom of the playoff picture. So important, these games in these last 3 weeks for these teams at the bottom.
Hollywood. He's been dangerous on that stretch play today, but nice job by Eric Davis to bring him down. Gain of only 2. Third down and 6.
BDG Hollywood is over 100 yards now on the ground early in the second half on just 10 attempts. So he is once again showing that he is a dominant player for the Swarm here in the SFL.
Low snap. He gets the pass away. It's tipped up in the air and intercepted again. This time it's Gay Drury on the receiving end with the pick for the Fury.
Just like that. Turnover back to the Fury. Second interception on the day by Bryant. Fantastic play in the secondary. Here we see Nicky Colantrelli with the big mitt up there, knocking that ball in the air. And Gay Drury able to come down with the interception. This is one of those keys of the game. Happened here for the second time. They were able to turn Bryant Dynasty over. So what now can the Fury do with the ball on the Atlanta Swarm side of the field? They have the opportunity now. They really need to punch this ball into the end zone.
Now both teams have 2 interceptions. Short check down to Johnson. Room to run here to the 40. And he's going to get down to the 36-yard line. 6:15 to go in the third quarter. Sector 6 is now the official apparel provider of the Simulation Football League, and replica jerseys are out now. Get your name on the back of your team's or your fan favorite team's jersey, and visit team stores and libraries for purchase options through sector6apparel.com or through our website at simulationfl.net. Just hit the shop button. As we cross under 6 minutes to play, third quarter, a handoff to Johnson. He's blown up immediately as he grabbed the football out of the hands of Rahman. It's going to be a loss of 4. Back to the 39-yard line, third down and 6.
Cree Higgins from his linebacker spot makes the tackle. The rookie was a week 8 signing, 5 tackles last week in his second career game in the SFL. So welcome, Cree, to the SFL. Great tackle there for your Atlanta Swarm.
Third down and 6 again. Las Vegas has not really done well on third downs today. Low snap for Rahman. He throws over the middle and it's caught, and maybe that really wasn't the intended receiver, as actually losing a yard was Garrison Blue. Looked like he sort of jumped in front of the intended receiver, who was Mason Kirby.
Yeah, it's quite possible Garrison Blue saw that play developing and thought he might need to play a little defense there. Brought the ball in, kept it away from the defender. Didn't pick up the first down, but they didn't turn the ball over either.
Not quite noticed Boudreaux's field goal range, so Butarski will come out to try and pin the Swarm deep, and they will do so. A brilliant punt down inside the 5-yard line. And Merrick Terror was Johnny on the spot, and we will come back after this. This is the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. Stay with us. .4:53 to go, third quarter. Atlanta with the ball, up 24-13, but they've got it at their own 4 after an excellent punt by Bluto Butarski. Here is Hollywood on a left side carry. He spins out of one tackle and he gets knocked down at the 14-yard line after a gain of 9, up to 125 yards on the game.
Linebacker Slyn Shady comes in and cleans up that play there. And if he hadn't, BDG might still be running there. Able to put him on the ground, but BDG running fast and strong, feeling powerful here in the second half. We might be seeing him carry the ball or tote the rock several times here on this drive as the Swarm are up double digits now as the clock's moving in the third quarter.
Especially once we get into the fourth quarter, maybe just to try and soak this game away. Hollywood gets the ball again. He powers forward for 3 yards and a first down up to the 16. And so from the shadow of their own end zone, now they've got some clearance.
Thomasina Rahman, Nikki Colantrelli coming up from the backfield positions to support and make that tackle on that play. So important when you're squaring off against a back like BDG Hollywood.
Off Hollywood, hit in the backfield and dropped as he tried to stretch the play to the right. Day Drury, who made that last interception, came up and made the tackle, loss of 3, second down and 13.
Yeah, that's not the first time Atlanta's tried to run that counter tray with the pulling guard and tackle there. They had fantastic success a couple times in the first half, but Fury were able to sniff that one out that time.
3 receivers bunched to the right, single left. Dynasty plenty of time now. He steps into the pocket. He throws over the middle, and it's caught at the 18-yard line. And down right there is Kendra Hall, third down and 8 after gaining back the yards that were lost on the last play.
Coverage for the Fury to great down the field there. Bought some time for the defensive line to charge up the field. And we saw Bryant wasn't comfortable in the pocket there. Couldn't wait any longer, but was able to check the ball down. But great play by the Fury there to set up a 3rd and long.
5 wide now, 3rd and 8. Here comes the late pressure. Dynasty avoids it. He throws it deep down the field, and it's an excellent defensive play from Thomas Rahman Jr. to deny the deep shot, and it will be 4th down. And on comes Chris Smith to do the punting.
Well done by Thomas Rahman Jr. from his cornerback spot. He, again, is one of these 4 defensive secondary members for the Fury. Inside the top 25 for interceptions. Again, this secondary, we've seen him turn over Bryant Dynasty twice. They're a ball hawking secondary. They're helping keep the Fury in this game.
A shorter kick fielded past the 40 by Jackson. He'll be run down to the 47-yard line. And I know there's still plenty of time to go. We're not even out of the third quarter yet. But you feel like one of these Fury drives, when they get down towards the red zone, has to stick. They've gotten 2 field goals and 2 interceptions on drives that ended inside Atlanta territory.
Yeah, Michael, they are moving the ball well. Tom Rahman, 22 of 30 right now, is completing 73% of his passes, only a $175 in yardage. He has 2 turnovers, but they're moving the ball well. They just need to have a little bit of luck on one of these drives, push this ball over the goal line.
Rahman steps up to avoid the rush, fires to the right-hand side. And that pass is complete for a gain of 4. John Blades. Haven't seen much of him today, but he was the second leading receiver for the Fury coming into the ball game.
And Swarm's playing great. We've talked about the Fury secondary, but the Swarm's really limiting these wide receivers. They're making catches, but there's nowhere to run once they catch this ball.
Hut Johnson is buried immediately by Aquata Shine. He loses a yard back to midfield. That's another name we haven't really called today. Aquata Shine had one big tackle in the first half. He's now up to 89 tackles, which leads the team.
Yeah, the veteran captain, such an important piece, a cog in this Swarm defense. We may not talk about him often, but you know he's there making an impact for the Swarm.
Another third down and long at midfield. 7 yards to go. Another pass over the middle, and the formula has broken down. Garrison Blue on that little third down pitch over the middle to turn upfield. It worked once in the first half. The 2 times they've tried it in the second half, it has not worked, and it's going to be a 3-and-out for the Fury.
Yeah, and we'll say again that the Swarm defense in the secondary is playing well. They're just not letting anything develop downfield for these Fury receivers. Tom Rama's not forcing the ball downfield right now. Maybe a smart play. They're still in the game. He already has 2 interceptions, just not trying to force it yet, and he doesn't have to. They almost
that ball died. That ball died at the 1-yard line, and just the momentum of the gunner took him into the end zone. It will be 1st and 10 at the 20 for Atlanta. Almost down inside the 1.
Yeah, they were able to do so on the previous special teams play. The defense is playing great. The scoreboard doesn't necessarily reflect it with 24 points for Atlanta, but the Fury defense is playing strong, and so Tom Robin is electing to just let the defense come back on the field and get the ball back quickly for them.
1st and 10 from the 20, 5 wide. Here comes the middle slant pattern, and it's caught by Chisholm. 1st down up to the 33-yard line, gain of 13.
3rd reception for Boo Chisholm on the day. That was a quickly developing play. Dynasty knew exactly where we wanted to go, and you see a peek through the eyes of the quarterback there as he found the window through that ball, and we saw Boo Chisholm coming into the screen there. Just great communication between the quarterback and the wide receiver there. Brian Dynasty knew exactly where Boo was going to be on that play.
Receivers now bunched to the left-hand side. 35 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. Low snap. Dynasty under pressure, and down he goes! The offensive line went out to lunch, and Rhett Sawyer says, I'll have some of that. It's another sack for the league leader in that category.
Yeah, they needed to have a play like that, and who else can you count on to deliver when the game's on the line? The captain, Rhett Sawyer, leads the league in sacks, has added another 2 today, also leading the league in tackles for loss. He's been everywhere today, heating up here in the second half. The Fury defense continuing to play well.
2nd down and 18. They don't have to snap the ball, but they do. Last play of the 3rd quarter. Time is out. Here's Hollywood, breaks 2 tackles and gets back to the original line of scrimmage at the 35-yard line. It'll be a 3rd down and 9 when we start the 4th quarter. It's 4's up time in the first game of the week. It's Atlanta 24, Vegas 13. Final 11 minutes on tap when we come back. This is the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. Fourth quarter on tap, opening game of the week for the Simulation Football League. We've got the Atlanta Swarm and the Las Vegas Fury. Swarm lead the Fury 24-13, 11 minutes to go. I'm Michael Duello. Benji Matson is along with me, along with Mark Chisholm and Rochelle Colston. 3rd down and 9 for Bryant Dynasty and the Atlanta offense. Dynasty, plenty of time to throw. He pitches it short, but Boo Chisholm's got the ball, and he's got the first down with plenty of room to run after making the catch. He gets up to the 45-yard line.
Another first down for Atlanta, keeping this drive alive. That was a big 3rd down play with the Fury defense. Before the break, we're talking about how well they were playing. Weren't able to get them off the field on that play. Thomas Robin Jr. and his quarterback spot was going for the ball and let Boo Chisholm pick up the first down after the completion.
From the 45-yard line, a pitch to the far side, similar play, and it's going to be tapping the toes at the 47-yard line as Boo Chisholm, 2 straight catches for the 8-season veteran.
An important part of this swarm offense. A shiny toy for Bryant Dynasty. He's got playmakers at every position on this offense.
They'll condense it a little bit here and go I formation, handoff Hollywood straight up the middle. Didn't quite get there, and it's going to be 3rd down and 1. Boo Chisholm had 3 touchdowns in their Week 1 victory over Baltimore, then did not have a receiving touchdown until last week in the 37-20 victory against Tulsa.
That speaks again to the number of weapons on this team. Someone can step up and have a great game one week, and the next week it could be someone totally different for the Swarm team.
Off Hollywood, this time we'll pick up the first down, and it's mostly been, it's mostly been number 34 picking up the tab on the receiving end with 630 receiving yards and 7 receiving touchdowns coming into the game.
Continuing to have a fantastic season, BDG Hollywood is for the Swarm.
Handoff Hollywood, that time nowhere to go. And he is tackled for a loss of 5 by Jericho Kane. And it'll be 2nd down and 15.
Furies continuing to play strong here. They're not giving up. This is a huge play. A 2nd and 15, 2nd and long. Do whatever you can do in this play. Keep that ball in front of you. Try and set up 3rd and long for Dynasty and the Swarm offense.
Dynasty takes a high snap. He's going to fire it down the field in a one-on-one coverage, and Chisholm makes the catch, and he gets away from his marker. He's going to race into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta.
How did he make this catch here? Fantastic defense by the cornerback. We seem to be in a good spot, but Boo Chisholm just comes down with the ball and is able to gallop into the end zone here for a touchdown, a potentially back-breaking touchdown for the Las Vegas Fury. Down a bit further now in this 4th quarter. They've been playing well on defense all game long. Unfortunately, have given up just a few big plays to BDG Hollywood on the ground, and that's the first big breakthrough play through the air for Bryant Dynasty and the Swarm.
You can never keep a good man down. Boo Chisholm over 800 yards receiving this season, adds his 5th touchdown of the year as well. Sammy Steele adds the extra point, and with 8:45 to go, Atlanta's pulling away. Atlanta 31, Las Vegas 13. This is the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. Atlanta pulling away here at home. They lead the Las Vegas Fury 31-13 with 8:45 to go. It looked like the Fury were hanging in there for a while, but a nice long touchdown pass to Boo Chisholm. I'm not going to say put the nail in the coffin yet because Las Vegas can score points and they can score them quickly as Max Jackson almost breaks away again. Gets all the way up to the 28-yard line. Here are some Week 10 headlines to watch out for this weekend. Top 10 teams in action as Denver and Louisiana try and take care of business tonight. 4 and 5 battle. 6 of the 9 teams with 4 and 5 records play each other this weekend. Queen City, a playoff team, 8 of the last 9 seasons are currently 3 and 6. They would have to win out in order to have a chance at the playoffs. The Battle of the Birds is Sioux Falls and Baltimore battle to clinch for seeding. They're both 7 and 2. As Rahman goes over the middle as he finds his tight end, Max Jackson. And then the I-95 rivalry to close it out. That's our crowd play game of the week on Monday with Florida against Jacksonville.
Garrison Blue on that reception, 9 for 9 so far, 48 yards. He's the leading receiver for the Fury so far this afternoon.
Over 8 minutes to play in the ball game. Rahman to the near side, caught by Kirby. And Mason Kirby taps the toes, gets a 9-yard gain, 3rd down and 1.
Of course, we know what tight end Garrison Blue is capable of. The rookie is a talented player there at that tight end position. And I think the fact that we're talking about Garrison Blue leading the team in receptions here in the fourth quarter is starting to speak to the excellent game plan that we're seeing on the field by the Swarm defense. They're just not allowing anything downfield to these Fury wide receivers.
Throw on 3rd and 1, and Rahman is swarmed under by the Atlanta defense all the way back at the 32-yard line. It's a 5-yard loss as Leo Jefferson got home for his 4th sack of the season.
Second sack of the game for big Leo Snacks Jefferson. This defensive line continuing to eat for the Swarm. And with the game in the balance here, down several scores, this defensive front for the Swarm smells blood in the water, and they know that Tom Rahman's got dropping back to pass now on almost every play, so they're pinning their ears back and looking for that sack.
Karski on to punt again for the Fury. 4th down and 6. He'll get it away from just about his own 20-yard line. Kendra Hall at the 30 will be down right at the 31-yard line. 7:16 to go. Atlanta 31, Las Vegas 13. Swarm with the football and playing very well on the defensive end today. Have not allowed an offensive touchdown for the Fury. Their 1 tally coming on the kickoff return by Max Jackson. First and 10 for the 31, 7:16 to go. Power I formation, handoff Hollywood. He's going to run down the left side, and he's going to have nobody opposing him. He breaks a tackle, gets to midfield, now to the 40, and he's going to be cut from behind to the Las Vegas 35-yard line. There is no such thing as running out the clock when you've got BDG Hollywood in the backfield.
No, and he's continuing to run really well this game, running patiently. Had some problems early in the game, not waiting and not allowing those blocks to set up. But here we saw a well-blocked play by that offensive line. BDG's able to bounce it inside this time of his blockers, but it's able to turn it right upfield for another big play on the ground. BDG Hollywood, you know he can beat you running the ball on the ground or through the air. Bryant Dynasty at quarterback this year, they've been utilizing Bryant Dynasty mainly as a receiver out of the backfield. But I think this is telling here, what we're seeing here with their game on the ground. This is a component to this Atlanta Swarm offense that other teams are going to need to take notice of as they head towards the playoffs.
Off Hollywood, loses the yard. Even so, this might be BDG Hollywood's best game on the ground this season, as he's mostly been utilized as a receiver.
Maybe little coaching or game planning aspect here. You know, the SFL season's a long one, and these champs made a long run march to the title last year. Could they have been saving BDG Hollywood for late in this season? Perhaps. An interesting idea.
Which shouldered out of bounds by Day Jury at the 33-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 8, now under 6 minutes to go in the ballgame. Just 2 games left after this for the Atlanta Swarm. They play against Chicago, who's one of those other 4 and 5 teams, and then Queen City, who we mentioned, trying to save their season. They've got the most titles in league history, but this season it hasn't quite worked out for them as they sit at 3 and 6. Bryant Dynasty all day to throw, and he almost airmailed it right to Max Jackson, who just swats the ball down, 4th down and 8.
Quick quarterback comparison here on that throw just had me thinking we see Bryant Dynasty continuing to go downfield. And when he drops back to pass today, 17 for 26, he's completed 65% of his passes for 200 yards. But it just does seem like Bryant Dynasty is always looking downfield. And the Swarm defense today has made life really difficult for Tom Rahman. And his passing game has been short passing today. Good defense by the Swarm.
Sammy Steele on for his second 50-yard attempt of the game. It is up, and it is good from 50 yards. Sammy Steele again is now 18 for 18 on the season. And he's hit 2 50-yarders in this football game, 1 in the first quarter and 1 in the fourth. And we'll be right back after this. This is the Simulation Football League at 11 Sports and for the fans. Atlanta extends the lead. They're up 34-13 with 5:29 to go in the ball game. I'm Michael Travillo. Benji Matson is alongside me in commentary. Mark Chisholm and Rochelle Colson are on stats. Max Jackson from 5 yards deep in his own end zone. And he'll bring it out to just past the 20 down to the 23-yard line. Here is the remaining schedule for the Las Vegas Fury, and it is a brutal one. The 8-1 Denver Nightwings are still pushing for the number 1 overall seed, and Mexico City may only be 5-4, but they're proven champions down there south of the border. Neither of these teams will be easy nuts to crack. As we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, loser today, which all in all will be Las Vegas. We're going to have to win out to have a shot at the playoffs to end their season at 6-6. There's Garrison Blue straight over the middle.
Another reception for the tight end, makes 10 on the day. We see continue to see here, even in the waning moments of the game, Las Vegas, Tom Rahman just hesitant to go down the field with the ball. There's just nothing open. Great job by the Swarm secondary.
Defensive line shifts to the left. Rahman, just a little toss to Scott Johnson. He's got plenty of room to run. He gets buried by Chris Henry, but he does pick up the first down to the 35-yard line. Here comes a little up-tempo offense from Las Vegas with 4:41 to go. Rahman across the field, and it's caught off there at the 43-yard line. Getting out of bounds is Garrison Blue.
Let's go. Second and 1.
Offside eye behind Rahman. Two receivers to the left, single receiver right, stack of the box against the Scott Johnson run, and Atlanta defense makes a very good call there as it's a loss of 2. As Joshua Williams got back to tackle Scott Johnson, and Johnson goes up the middle again, and he gets run down again. Another loss of 1, back to the 39-yard line. That time it's Leo Jefferson, and now it's 4th and 5.
We'll see if Las Vegas feels like they need to punt here or if they're going to go for this on 4th down. They had their chances.
The offense is on the field. With 4 minutes exactly on the clock, they've got 4 wide. Scott Johnson alone in the backfield. He'll go out for the pass as well, and it's over the middle and caught by Garrison Blue. Right at the midfield stripe is where he gets brought down. And here comes the up-tempo offense, so a successful first down conversion. And Scott Johnson on the little flare out loses half a yard back to the 49-yard line. They'll still go up tempo here. 3:34 to go. It's another pitch to Johnson, and he gets those yards back. 3rd down and 9. Can he find something down the field? It's a slant, and he's going to be short by 1 yard. That was A-star Miramontes. Not used much of the passing game today, but almost had a chance to make a big play, but it was shut down by Moose Papino, who is making a strong case for player of the game.
Absolutely. He's had a fantastic game from his free safety spot. 4th and 1 for Vegas. Can they pick up this yard when they really need it?
It's going to be to throw. Rahman, middle, wide open. On the short slant is John Blades, and he picks up a first down. 2 for 2 on 4th down conversions on this drive on the Las Vegas Fury. Rahman again, middle to Kirby. 10-yard gain and a first down to the 25. This is the best drive of the second half for the Fury, and it's coming with under 3 minutes to go. Now 2:25. Now a 7-step drop for Rahman. He's going to rifle it to the 5-yard line, and it's knocked away. Blake Hamrick got a hand on it, and it's 2nd and 10.
One of just a few moments in the game that Tom Rahman's gone downfield. The game may not be in the balance anymore, but there were just key moments in this game where the Fury had the opportunity to go downfield and just couldn't make those completions. Another testament to the strong gameplay by the Swarm on defense today.
2:21 to go. 2:20 at the snap. Rahman to the near side left, and that's caught by Pryor. Actually, Pryor did not keep his feet in bounds. It'll be 3rd down and 10 at the 25. And Las Vegas is going to challenge. I mean, in real time, it looked like Pryor made that catch pretty easily.
We'll let R62 take a peek under the hood and tell us what he sees.
Well, I mean, depending on what angle we get of the replay, we should see pretty good here. Yeah, he's got 2 feet down. So that should be a catch for Las Vegas. Isn't going to get him a lot of yards, but it will make this 3rd down conversion a little bit easier.
The catch was made prior to going out of bounds. The Fury will not be charged with a timeout. 3rd down.
Third down and 6, 2:17 to go. This might be the last snap before the 2-minute warning. Rahman alone to the backfield, 4 receivers to aim at, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. It's a 4-man rush for Atlanta. Rahman goes middle, and it's a yard short again to Garrison Blue.
I think this will be the 3rd, 4th down on this drive. We'll see what they do after the 2-minute warning, but you'll assume they're going to go for it here.
It'll be a 4th down conversion attempt, the 3rd of the drive when we come back as the Fury try to salvage something deep into this game. This is the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. For the final time, welcome back into the Hive in Atlanta. 3rd, 4th down conversion from this drive coming up. Rahman takes the snap, drops back to pass. He's going for it. Oh, and he's got the touchdown for John Blades.
Great connection between Tron Rahman and John Blades there. After the 2-minute warning here, down 3 scores. They had a wide open pass into the flat, but Tom Rahman elected to connect with John Blades. Quick strike for 6 points there. Still down 2 scores here by the Fury. That was a long drive, 15 plays, 60 yards, does result in the touchdown, the first touchdown pass of the day for Tom Rahman. Great connection between he and John Blades.
First offensive touchdown for the Fury comes with just 1:57 minutes left to go in the game, as their only other touchdown was a long kickoff return by Max Jackson. Extra point up and good by Boudreaux, but really the turning point in this game for the Fury was their missed opportunities in the red zone. 2 interceptions in the end zone for Atlanta. One of them went all the way back for 6 points by Moose Papro. That was at the end of the first half. But they will rue their missed opportunities. This could have been a much closer game. They're going to try the onside kick here. It pops high in the air. It's up for grabs, and it looks like Atlanta does eventually fall on it. Merrick Itera was in the area but did not grab it, so it'll be Atlanta football with 1:55 to go. And after this first play of the drive, it will be time for the out-of-town scoreboard presented by ScoreStream, the official live scoring app of the Simulation Football League. In the power I, it's going to be Hollywood on left-hand carry, and Hollywood gets 10 yards, actually 9 yards, they're going to say, as Las Vegas calls their first timeout. 3 games tonight, one of them on 11 Sports and for the fans. That's at 5 p.m. as Mexico City plays Tulsa. Then at 8 p.m. on the SFL's Twitch channel, that's at Simulationfl on Twitch. Fort Worth at Louisiana as Louisiana tries to maintain on top of the league and go to 9-1. Second down and inches from the 32. They'll set the power I this time to the left-hand side. Hollywood takes it, gets a block, spins out of a tackle and gets to the 26. And then Denver, the other 8-1 team, is at Chicago on YouTube. That's also at 8 p.m. That's youtube.com/simulationfl. Sunday, a full slate of games starting at 2:30 p.m. Eastern on 11 Sports and for the fans. Houston plays Carolina in one of those 4 and 5 matchups. Huge for potential playoff seeding. Queen City and Lone Star follow at 4:30 p.m. also on 11 Sports. And rounding out the day on 11 Sports is Arizona and Vancouver. And the kneel downs begin for Atlanta as they will just salt away the rest of this clock. Then on the SFL's Twitch channel at 9 p.m., Portland hosts Charleston and St. Louis hosts London on YouTube at the same time. That's 9 p.m. on Sunday. And then Monday we start with 2 dynamite matchups. We start in Baltimore as the Battle of the Birds happens as Baltimore hosts Sioux Falls. And then the Sunshine State Showdown as the Florida Storm host the Jacksonville Kings in our game of the week, Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. And that is your out-of-town scoreboard presented by ScoreStream, the official live scoring app of the SFL. Benji, we're going to go to a final score here of 34-20 as the last minute and a half reigns off the clock. I'm going to get out in front of the post-game storm here and ask you for a player of the game. I'd already mentioned I was going to give mine to Moose Papineau. I doubt that he's going to actually get it, but he's my player of the game. 2 interceptions, 1 returned all the way back for a touchdown, and just a lot of great tackles. He was flying everywhere on the field. Who is your pick for player of the game?
I like your pick for player of the game there. I think Moose had the biggest single impact or moment in this game today. And those 2 turnovers in the red zone by the Swarm defense allowed BDG to get back on the field and have the game that he did today. Playing great from his halfback spot. Best game on the ground this year for BDG. You might not be able to ignore his 20 carries for 166 yards, touchdown. Another touchdown through the air on 8 receptions for 53 yards. As the field goal is good. But over 200.
Sammy Steele hits the field goal. That actually takes us over the over-under, which was set at 55.5. So that was a big, even though the scores aren't close, that was a big turning point for anybody with some money on the line.
Well, we're watching Sammy Steele make sure he can keep his record intact. Batting 1,000, so to speak, so far this year. Enjoying a great season.
Steele now 19 for 19 with a long of 51. He's hit 2 50-yarders today. So not an easy day at the office for Steele, but he's gotten the job done every time it has been asked of him. And with just 21 seconds to go and no timeouts, Las Vegas will get the football. Max Jackson up to the 24-yard line. Looks like they'll have time for maybe 2 plays. Atlanta goes to 5-5. Las Vegas drops to 4-6. With just 2 games to go, Las Vegas will have to win out against very difficult opposition to have a shot at making the playoffs, as they play Denver and Mexico City to close out the season. Rahman to the far side, incomplete, in and out of the hands of his receiver, John Blades.
This Fury team is a young team, and they played well today on the road in Atlanta. Some big plays turned in by the Swarm on defense, of course, and BDG on the ground. Hard to account for those big plays, but the Fury can take heart knowing that they've got a lot of fight in them, and they're young, and they're only getting better, and they've got a chance to win these next 2 games. They do. So I think that heading home disappointed today, but they got to keep your chin up.
Oh, there's an interception for Rahman. 3rd of the day for the Swarm. And Chris Henry really gets his just desserts. He's been all over the field today. The man they call King Henry picks up the interception, and that will seal the deal.
Congratulations to the rookie King Henry there for his interception. 6th-round pick for the Swarm this year in the draft, making his contribution known on defense today for the team.
His 2nd interception of the season, and there go his SFL career. 1 kneel down will do it, and that will end the ball game. Your final score, Atlanta 37, Las Vegas 20. Your post-game recap is coming up right about now. Here's Benji Matson.
Welcome home. The Swarm are glad to be back in the Hive. Played a fantastic, complete game on both sides of the ball today, led by some fantastic plays on defense and BDG Hollywood on the offensive side of the ball. There really wasn't much of a doubt in this game today. After the opening kick, the Swarm really controlled the pace of play on both sides of the ball and were dominant today. Looking through the stats really quickly here, if you're a Swarm on the Swarm team and you're a receiver there, you're a little bit upset with the game plan today. We see Kendra Hall 1 reception, Siege Falco unofficially no catches. Jamal, 1 catch today. Boo did have 6 receptions for 100 yards, but today was the BDG Hollywood show. It just goes to show you that this team is talented with weapons all over the field on offense. On any given day, any one of them can have an outstanding performance and dominate. A great game on the ground today by BDG Hollywood and supported by that awesome defense today. Great game plan by the Swarm today. Opportunistic turnovers, great individual plays on defense. This game was back and forth there for a while. Very exciting to end that first half. Ball didn't bounce the Fuel or the Fury's way today, but they played with a lot of heart and they played tough, really hung in there. They just couldn't get things moving today. But this day did belong to BDG Hollywood and the Swarm. Back home after their 2-game road trip, now improving to 5-5. Is there a more dangerous team when this weekend is said and done? Is there a more dangerous team in the SFL sitting at 5-5 than the Atlanta Swarm? We'll see. They played a complete game today. Are going to be a dangerous out in the playoffs this season if they can make it.
Fury will rue their missed opportunities. 2 interceptions in the end zone for the Swarm. One of them by Papino that went back all the way for a touchdown. And it really felt right at the end of the first half when that happened that was a major turning point in the football game. And the Fury never really recovered on offense. The player of the game is BDG Hollywood, as you predicted. 173 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground and 49 yards through the air as well. So that will do it for our producer, Cameron Irvine, Mark Chisholm and Michelle Colston on stats, and Benji Matson on analysis. I have been your play-by-play commentator, Michael Dwiddle, saying so long and see you next time.